Have you ever been faced with a problem where the 2-hour play limit on Steam is not enough to figure out if you want to keep a game or refund it? I have, so I came up with a solution which might help you out too. Be aware that this method generally helps with single-player games, whereas with multiplayer games it can be used to optimize settings and solve controller issues without taking a penalty of recording playtime and losing out on actually playing the game. I use this method to extend my initial playtime with a game to find out if I want to keep it or not. Essentially, I consider it as a demo tool. There are some games where 2 hours is just not enough to figure out if the game is worth keeping. I will be using this method on F1 2021, which falls exactly into that category. Apart from having lots of mechanics and different elements that require more extensive testing than the 2-hour limit allows, it can be even trickier if you've just been playing the previous game in the series, where the updates to the new game have to be even more significant to justify the purchase. As you can see, F1 2021 did not meet my expectations. So, how to extend your playtime without actually recording it on Steam? You might need to do a step or two less than what I'm about to show, but I don't take any risks. So, if you want to be absolutely sure that the playtime will not appear on your account, this is what I do. Run Steam in offline mode. Not only that, I disable the internet connection on my PC altogether, so that I'm absolutely sure no internet connections are being established. On my PC, I disconnect the Ethernet cable. On my laptop, I make sure the Wi-Fi is off. Then, I double check that it's off. At this point, I've already refunded F1 2021. I did so almost 3 weeks ago. The money is back in my account. The recorded playtime on my Steam account is around 65 minutes or so. I've spent another 2 or 3 hours in the game to make sure if I want to keep it or not. Then, I spent another hour or 2 recording some footage for another video I'm working on next. What's important to note is that you might need to run the game properly for the first time. Steam needs to install all the middleware and all that. Depending on the game, going offline right away might not work. Steam can require an online launch initially. It certainly did so with F1 2021. As mentioned, my Steam account hasn't been online for a while now. As you can see, F1 2021 does still run and is fully functional, apart from online play. I've gone through the settings, done a few races, gotten familiar with the UI, with the bugs, and compared it directly with F1 2020. Conclusion: needs refunding, which I have already done. And now we will go online for the first time in about 3 weeks and see the game becoming non-functional because of the Steam app on my PC finally receiving information that I no longer hold the rights to play the game. As you can see, the total playtime is 67 minutes. If we check the account settings, the game was already refunded on February 6th. So, if you find yourself struggling to demo a particular game in under 2 hours, you can disconnect your computer from the internet completely, run Steam offline, play the game that way. Remember that initial setup might be necessary. This will work perfectly with single-player games, especially those that can be run directly through Steam and don't require a third-party launcher. As mentioned before, online features will be unavailable, but if you're struggling to optimize graphics settings or are having difficulties with getting your controllers to work, as can happen in a game like F1 with a steering wheel for example, you can avoid wasting playtime on working out settings. This method can be used to aid you creating proper first impressions and make a final purchasing decision, which I wanted to share. It can also be used maliciously. If you use this to abuse the refund system but still finish a game and refund anyway,
fuck yourself.